Okay, next stop, the River Thames. Here it is right behind me, and this is just across from Temple. Let me just scan around. So right behind me are the buildings of Temple, which I showed you earlier. That's where Pip lived, and he's chosen this spot being really close to the river. Now let's have a look at how he gets his boat onto the river. So if I scan around just behind me, look, there you can see the steps that go down onto the river. They're blocked off to the public now, but this is how Pip would have prepared himself for escape, rowing and rowing with his friends, Startop and Herbert. Now behind me you can also see one of the few ships that's currently on the Thames, and this is a steamer. It's different to the ones that Dickens is writing about, which would have had the paddles on them, but you can see why Pip wouldn't risk getting on a steamer in London here. Instead, he would get on the river and head that way out towards Gravesend. Now hopefully you've thought about the symbolism of Gravesend. The novel starts in a graveyard, Pip with Magwitch on a gravestone, and Pip's dreams of escape with Magwitch are towards this place in Essex. Remember, that's the street that I just showed you. So he's off to Gravesend in Essex, and this is where Compeyson dies, but Magwitch's attempt to be finally free also dies. This is Gravesend for Magwitch, and it is also Gravesend for Pip's desire to be a gentleman. But is this a tragedy, or is it a triumph because Pip escapes the class system and becomes his own man abroad? So for Pip, perhaps it isn't a tragedy, but Dickens' wider point is that it is a tragedy for British society, because the rest of us, in Dickens' time that is, the rest of us are still trapped in this class system, unable to be truly ourselves, obsessed with the hierarchy of class, and doomed to a life of misery and injustice, which Dickens wants to change.